Good morning. Good morning. Almost afternoon. Good morning. If you're hopping on and you see the red live button right there, that means you are catching me live. And I am an hour later. I am going to change my time to better suit me getting into the shop, getting things done here. So we're going to be coming to you live every Wednesday now at 11 a.m. If you're hopping on and you see the red live, you're catching me live, just go ahead and give a hello. Let me get this. Drop a heart, drop a thumbs up, let me know you're here. This week might be a little crazy because I don't know if we changed the time. We put it back an hour. So I'm coming to you an hour later. I'm going to see how this works out, if this even works out for, I know a lot of people were used to the 10 a.m., which that works for a lot of people. Now that I'm here in the shop, I might try to do a few different times and see what might be better. I know a lot of people couldn't catch me early in the morning. Good morning, Tina. Dawn. Okay, great. I see some people hopping on. I know I'm coming to you a little bit later, so a lot of people don't realize that. Good morning, Brenda. Melissa. Hello. You're finally able to catch a live. Yay. Yeah. Good morning, Ruth. I'm hoping that the hour later will give a few other people a chance, because sometimes it's a little early for the others and they would have to be up really early. So I'm trying to find that really good time where a lot of people can catch me. We can get the most people on at one time. I'm even thinking about maybe doing a mid-afternoon one. So I'm going to just play around with that and see how that goes. But for right now, it is going to be 11 a.m. Good morning, Ruth. So I'm going to try this for a little bit and see how this goes. We'll see. That's the best I can say, is we'll see. If you hear Christmas music in the background, I am October 1st, I start my Christmas mode. So I start my Christmas songs. Good morning, Diana. So it's a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. Good morning, everybody. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's like a perfect fall day. All of our leaves here in Pennsylvania are changing. I was coming here to the shop this morning, and out of my front street all the way out into town, the trees were they were stunning. They got them oranges and reds and yellows, and fall's not my favorite. Summer's my favorite, but I do like fall. The only thing I dislike about fall is I know the next season's winter, and I'm not a winter girl. But I'm in Pennsylvania, so that's what I deal with. But the leaves here are stunning this time of year. So I had a beautiful drive here. First day coming to you live in my new shop. So my lighting is much better. I got a bunch of LED lights put in. My shop is light and bright, which I'm absolutely loving. So I am in the shop today. This is the very first live coming from the shop. I got much more workspace. I'm not working on one of those plastic pop-up tables. I actually got a dining room table now in my dining room. That used to be my makeshift shop. So I'm super excited. I got a dining room back. And I've got lots of space. As you can see, I bought a bunch of, if anybody can get these, I'm just going to suggest to you, these are the absolute best workspaces. These are the restaurant style stainless steel tables. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 of them for my shop here. And I absolutely love them. They're clean, they're durable, they hold a lot of weight. They got a shelf underneath them. And it's just like you would find in a restaurant, they're prep tables. So when I was looking for tables, work tables, I came across these on Amazon. I just buy them right on Amazon. And I said, I'm going to get these because to me, they would seem the most durable. I absolutely love them. So if you're looking for an awesome work table, these run about the size I got. You can get them in different sizes, but I did get them 30 inches deep. So I would suggest that. I was going to do 24, and then I thought I probably should get them a little wider, and I'm glad I did. So they're 30 inches deep, and I got them in 2 different sizes. I got a 5 foot, which is 60 inch. And then I got a 6 foot. So I have 2 6-foot ones, and they're 72 inches, 30 inches deep. And then I got 2 of the 6 foot, and then I got 4 of the 5 foots. But I love them. They were probably my best solution for getting tables. So they run about $250. Within that price range, depending. So between the two, I think they were like $225 and $258. I think they were right on Amazon. So if you're looking for a good table, I am going to suggest a restaurant style stainless steel table. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Kathy. So that's what we're coming to. I love the clean surface. I love the fact that they can get hot. And so if I would have something like my slates or some of the glass things and they get hot, it's not a big deal. I'm excited to try them out for my baby blankets because I like to put my baby blankets and spread them out. And of course I put them on like a heat pad, but I think these are going to be great for that because just the surface is perfect. So definitely suggest these right on Amazon if you're looking for a great table. So I got a dining room back at home. My house is actually almost completely cleared out of my work stuff, which now is over here in the shop, which I'm super excited about because I haven't had my house to myself. And we've been there 10 years, and I'm going to say 7 of those years probably have not been my own house. I've always had a business in there. I had a clothing business at one time, and I had that for about 4 years. And then I've had sublimation for about 3 years, and it's always been in my home. So I know a lot of you are doing your businesses from your home. They start out small, and before you know it, every room in your house has part of your business in it. And I finally got that out of my house after about 7 years. I think I'm excited, but my husband is real excited because literally he was probably moving. I was moving him slowly out of our house, I think. So that's been a great thing to come here now at the shop. And I will say another thing, even though I will answer your questions and I'm still there on Messenger and stuff, but when I close my shop doors for the day, my supplies, everything is here. So now I have that little bit of where you feel like, and I know a lot of you deal with this because you work from home, work is always in front of you. So I always felt like, you know, it was right in my dining room. So if I was in my kitchen, we have an open dining room to the kitchen. I always felt like there was one more project I could do or one more item that is sitting there that needs done. So I felt like my work was always with me. Now, you know, I'm keeping hours. So when I'm here, I'm working. And then when I go home, I'll still answer all of your messages and I still deal with my Etsy shop, but I'm not physically in there moving items around, and I'm not getting packages in where I have to figure out, you know, I got to take them and package them or put them and store them in the basement. Because that's where all of my storage was. Everything was downstairs in my basement in shelving. So I feel a little bit better with that. A lot of pressure of not having my business inside of my home. So this week, even though all last week was moving, this week the weekend I was already pretty much in. And the last three, today will be my third day. I was like, I closed the doors and I'm like, I'll get to that project tomorrow. So I don't know if any of you feel that way, because I've been that way for 7 years having a business in my home. It's been a little bit of a relief for me. You know, I'm still going to work my business like I always have, but now I'm actually going to bring on a helper too. So I think that's even going to help a little bit with, you know, getting packages out and stuff. So I am currently looking for somebody. I have a few people that I've already got in mind. So I know my daughters are going to help me, but they still have small children at home, so it's a little bit hard for them. So I'm excited about maybe getting somebody in to give me a hand. And, you know, we can get them packages filled, we can get them out. So that's where I'm at. Okay, so enough about me. We are going to get into today's project. And yesterday I was getting it ready, and then I realized I can't use my printer, so I didn't have any prints. Everything I have is here, and my internet service does not come until tomorrow. So I was like, oh my goodness, I can't print nothing. So I was looking for a USB cable to run to it to my, I have an Epson 7720, and I found one, which I was super excited about, and I'm like, oh, I'll just plug it in. Well, I guess it doesn't work like that. I even called Epson support, and they're like, no, you have to have a special, like, kind of device for it, which I don't know why, but it would not connect to my Mac. No way, no how, even with Epson support helping me. So I couldn't print anything. So thank goodness I have a little stash. If any of you are like me, if you keep a stash like I do of prints that you might have printed out or printed too many of, or, you know, you made them with intent to do something and you didn't, well, that's where I hurried up and gathered from late last night before I left. I'm like, oh no, because I didn't want to cancel today's because it was our first one and I was excited about it. I'm in the new shop with great lighting. So I did find I had a few extra prints. So what we're going to do today is not really what I wanted to do, but it's still just as exciting. And I've been wanting to do this for a while. Good morning. My camera's a little closer too, which I'm excited, so I might be able to catch all of your comments if I'm watching. I have always wanted to see the difference in between, I know we talk a lot about t-shirts and the quality of t-shirts and 100% polyester versus, you know, a 65% polyester. So I thought, I've never really done the comparison of the two. So I'm going to do that today. So that's what we're going to work on. Let me see. I probably don't have nothing adjusted here. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go over, this is a George shirt, which you can readily buy right at Walmart. I use them quite often. I've used them for my husband because he does like these t-shirts, and they're readily available. So you can go right to Walmart. You can buy a George t-shirt. Okay. And here we are. This is just a white t-shirt. I have, I keep several of these. I have t-shirts usually readily available, just in case family members or somebody, you know, messages me and says, hey, I need a t-shirt, which that happens often. I will tell you, if you're thinking about, you know, having something as a staple item, as I always call, there's a few staple items you really need to have in your shop or with your business. T-shirts is one of them. For the longest time, I did not do t-shirts with sublimation. I was a huge t-shirt guru when I was doing vinyl and the heat transfer vinyl. I did thousands of t-shirts, and that's probably an underestimating of that. That was like 90% of my main business. I was doing t-shirts. So in the new shop, I am Diane. So I did a lot of t-shirts, and so I had a lot of these available because I did a lot of the George and I did a lot of the cotton shirts. The George brand I really like because they are soft. I will tell you, you can get these in several colors that work really well. They have like the purples and the pinks, a sage, like a mustard. Those all work very well with sublimation. I have done them before. And these are 65% polyester and a 35% cotton. Okay, so these feel really good, and these do sub nicely because I have done these before. Thank you, Dorothy. So we are going to sub this one, and then we are going to compare it to the Cricut brand Infusible ink ones. And I'm going to tell you, there is a huge difference. And I'm going to show you the difference. Not that there's, you know, any one is better than the other. If you can do 100% polyester, or the higher the polyester count, the better it is, for sure. But I'm going to show you the difference in between the two. And this is going to go into my shop. This is the print that we are using today. I was going to say, oh no. Okay, so you're looking at it as if it's correct, but it's actually mirror imaged. I do have this print, and I am going to go ahead and list it today in my Etsy shop if you're looking for it, because October is the month for breast cancer awareness. Okay, so we are going to do this one today. And what I do when I'm doing my shirts, and I've always done this before, there's a whole bunch of ways that people find the centers of them. I've always been that girl that I just folded it, I gave it a light press, and then, you know, I found the middle and I centered it. That's how I've always done it. It's always worked well for me. Let me get some butcher paper. So giving it a press down the middle has always worked really well for me. And that's how I usually find it. With this table here, I've got a lot of workspace where I'm able to literally put my whole t-shirt on, it looks like. So this is awesome. Love these tables. So when you're doing your design, I'm going to give you a few tips. Always use a paper cutter and get a good straight cut all around. I know a lot of people say, oh no, go ahead, tear the edges. It'll help you when you're pressing so you don't get the box, things like that. I've never done that. I always like to have, as you can see, it's nice and straight all around. So I use a paper cutter. Get yourself a really good paper cutter, a big one. I found, oh, sorry. I love this one. It is the Carl brand, and it's 15 inches high, so it fits my 13-inch papers really nicely. They just go in, and then I can cut them. A 12-inch don't work really well with your 13-inch papers because then they don't fit in it. So I got the bigger one, and I love that rotary cutter. So if you're, and I got that one on Amazon as well. It's a Carl, C-A-R-L, rotary cutter. Good morning, Linda. So, So that's one of the first tips that I can give you is get yourself a straight edges all around. Give yourself a good straight edge, a good box, a good rectangle, whatever it is, and then lay your shirt out, and then that's how I center it. And a lot of people have an issue like how low, how high. There are lots and lots of diagrams out there. You can just Google it and it'll tell you if you're doing a logo, this is where you put it. If you're doing something on the back, this is where you put it, you know, whatever. So you can go with those guides. I will tell you, when I've done a collar, I've always learned that I just take my hand like this, and I always start that image about right at my pinky down. That's how I've always done it. From the collar down, I start, you know, I just put it here, and right about my pinky, I lay the design down, and the design's from there down. Whether that's right or that's wrong, that's how I've always done it, and I've never had anybody complain about that. Do I have a list of favorite things on Amazon and affiliate link? I do not, and I keep saying I'm going to set one up, so I might work on that tonight and do that. So let me see about getting that together tonight for you. but currently I don't. So that's how I figure out my placement for where I'm going to start my design, okay? We're going to do something a little bit different while we're here. I've got tons of... Let's see if I can find... So if you're doing a logo or whatever you're doing, you can always just Google, and there's tons of guides out there exactly where to place everything if you're looking to do some kind of placement on something. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this now, and I'm just going to get that design ready. And when I say collar, I'm including usually, so let me see. I'm going to start right about, I'm going to actually put, I'm not going to go under the collar. I'm going to kind of stick it on the collar, and I'm going to do it right there. That's how I get it. So I'm going to look for that, and that's about right. But if you want, you can always fold your shirt in half, do a little line, a press line, and you can find your center that way. And I'm an eyeballer because I figure if my eye sees it that way, then that's how we're going to see it. That's just, I've always figured if my eye can see it that way, then sometimes, you know, don't fix it if it isn't broken correctly. So if my eye sees it, I'm an eyeballer. I've always just eyed up my prints. And some days, I've had some oops shirts where you wonder and people think she's a drunken sailor because let me tell you, that print is just a little wonky. And if that happens, let me tell you, a lot of people say, how can I fix this? How can I remove this with sublimation? If you're new here, I will tell you sublimation is permanent. There is no removing it, not like when we used to do, and which I still do. Not as much, but when you do heat transfer vinyl, sometimes you could heat it up and you could reheat it and you can go ahead and undo that. Sublimation is permanent. Once you do sublimation, once that ink has changed, ink does not sit on the surface. Sublimation turns into a gas and it becomes part of your fabric, so it's infused into your fabric. So there is no removal of alcohol ain't going to do it. Heating it back up is not going to do it. Once your item is pressed, and I don't care what surface it's on, it is now part of the surface, okay? So just remember that. But I always say, keep an oops bin. I don't, unless it's really, really, really messed up, I don't throw something away. I have a bin, and it's my oops bin. And if I go to like a craft show or something like that, or sometimes my kids, things like that, they're looking for something. And it might just be something minor, but it was something that I wouldn't sell. It could be just something was a little off. I'll put it in that oops bin. And I will have an oops bin. And sometimes, you know, you might think it's, I wouldn't sell that, but if you have an oops bin and you discount it sometimes half off or whatever, you'd be surprised how many people would buy that. So I don't throw it out. I give a lot of things away. So if you see my kids and my grandchildren not running around and they don't look so, look at that shirt and it might be a little messed up, that's probably grandma's doing. They get the offspring of that. Okay, so all I did now was just taped it down. Okay. I'm probably going to have to readjust this because I haven't tried this. Another thing you're going to need when you're doing any kind of fabrics is get yourself a pressing pillow, pressing pad. As you can see, I've had a mess up here. But that's not a big deal. I just forgot to put butcher paper over it one time. I cover it with butcher paper. And I'm using a 15 by 15 press. And this is the Cricut pressing pad, which those of you that are here all the time know that I love it. It's my favorite. It's probably the most dense that I've had of all the pressing pillows or pressing pads. and it lasts. To me, I press a lot, so it takes a long time for it to wear out. So I love the Cricut brand. So pressing pillow, butcher paper. And when you're doing fabrics, it needs to be a light pressure. And try to get that color out of there. And then we're going to cover it again with butcher paper. And I might need to adjust this. I haven't adjusted this since we moved it. Okay. And then it's going to be 400 degrees, 60 seconds. And it's going to be like a light pressure on there. Like a heavy light. We're trying to avoid that box, but don't really have, I know a lot of people like to tear their papers because of that. I don't. If you just do like a light to a light medium, light heavy, it'll be okay. Once you start getting that really, really heavy pressure on, it's not like when we did the heat transfer vinyl and we had to have super heavy pressure. This is a little different from that. This is, you want to try to keep that paper, for some reason gives a box, and you want to try to keep that out of there. All right. No paper in between. I haven't on these. I haven't found that they're transferring from in between each other. Sometimes though, on some shirts or some items, like I have some pillow covers where I have to put it in between because they'll either fuse together or they'll kind of lightly transfer, especially like a light pillowcase. They tend to get that transfer from one side to the other. These ones I have not had that issue with. And then I always kind of shake my item out, and that helps a little with if you do get pressure lines. And you can see that it has a little bit here, but if you shake that, it's gone. And I've noticed though, first wash, it tends to go. And I probably could lighten that pressure up a little. But there you go. Look how nice. This is the George brand. And it's still really, really nice. I am gonna lighten this up just a tad. And I'll tell you, if you use the Cricut, the Easy Press, I've never got any lines, any boxes or anything with the Easy Press. Okay, so this is the George brand, and look, I mean, this turns out really nicely. So, and I've used this several times. And I will tell you, another little trick, so let's do that right now, is get yourself a lint roller. You should lint roll your items prior to, especially with shirts. I usually don't do like towels and blankets, but shirts I usually roll them, lint roll them, just to make sure, because for some reason they do tend to get a little bit of lint. And if you roll it, give it a minute to cool. Roll it afterwards with a lint roller. And like magic, them boxes come out. So you can't really see that box no more at the top. There was a little line there. And I don't know why the lint roller does it. It must pull the fibers back up. And they come right back out with that. Okay? So that might be a trick that you want to try if you do get a box on a shirt. Go ahead and lint roll that. But let it cool for a minute so you're not making the gases still move and getting some ghosting or some transfer of your colors. And there we go. Look, this is the George brand right at Walmart. They're beautiful. So they sub really nicely. And it kind of just gives it a little bit of a vintage look. Maybe like, no, I wouldn't even say vintage, maybe like a little bit of a nice worn shirt that, you know, becomes a favorite shirt. It's worn in a little bit, because this is only 65% cotton or polyester. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the Cricut brand. I had a list here on things I wanted to share with you guys. I don't know what I did with it. Usually I get a new piece of paper, but there was really no transfer to this, so I'm going to reuse that bottom piece again. But usually I do get a brand new piece under here. But sometimes when there's really not transfer, I'll just flip it over. But for your top one, never reuse your top paper. I've seen people reuse their top papers. Don't do that because there is some ghosting on there, meaning that image is still, you'll see it on there. And that has a possibility of transferring onto your other piece of paper or on your substrate. So you don't want to reuse that, all right? If there's one thing that you shouldn't skimp on is your butcher paper, okay? Make sure you use it. And this is the Cricut brand we're gonna do now. It's also white, and this one is 95%. 95% polyester, 5% spandex. So we're gonna see the difference in between the two on how they press and transfer. All right, so I'm gonna line this up again. And you can always put that piece of butcher paper in between. If you're just unsure about the material, it doesn't hurt to. And yes, you can use the Cricut Easy Press for these. And again, I'm just putting this on the 15 by 15 press. I think I lightened it too much. So you just want to make sure your pressure's good. But can you tell me what time and temp for your Oster French doors on the tumblers? Offhand, I know it's 360 degrees. 6 minutes, Erica. It's 360 degrees, 6 minutes. And you definitely need to make sure that you use an oven temperature thermometer in there to make sure that you're at 360, okay? Because you don't want to scorch them and you don't want to undercook them. Okay, these are also 400 degrees at 60 seconds. All right. You're welcome, Erica. Have you played with my Glowforge? It is, when we're done here, I'm going to show you around the shop. It is all hooked in. Super excited. But I was going to, this is what made me realize I needed the Wi-Fi. I went on Monday, started unpacking it. We got it hooked in, all in on Sunday. And I'm going to show you this. This is what I mean when I say there is kind of a, I hope you can see that, how you see the gassings or the ghosting to this. So your paper literally, even though it's really hard and faint for you to see, your paper that you just took off has ink on it. So if you go ahead and you use that paper again, there's a good chance that that light image is going to transfer onto your other substrate. So you don't want to do that. And a lot of people, another thing, people will say not all of my ink is used on my paper. When you're new to sublimation, they're like, it's still there. That doesn't mean nothing. You're still going to have some of your ink on your paper. All of this doesn't go away. Okay, it doesn't transfer, not the whole thing. All right. Now look at this. Look at how vibrant these Cricut 95% polyester shirts turn out. These are so vibrant. The first time I used these, I was shocked. When will I be getting more MDF panels? Very soon. Very, very, very soon. So let me hang this up. So if you've not tried these Cricut brand, they have it in a white, in this white, and they also have it in a light gray, but I will tell you the light gray 95% of the time is sold out. So every time I go to try to get them, I can only get like 1 or 2. And I am currently out of the light gray, or we'd have tried that one too, because I have grays. But look at how vibrant these are. And I will tell you, these, I get these usually at like Michael's or Joann's. Usually they're on stock. And they are in stock right now at Joann's, and I think they're $4.79. So if you can go, if you're looking for a white t-shirt, go ahead, you can get them there. All right. So I'm going to show you the difference between the two. This is the 65%. And this is the 95%. So let's see if we can get these two together, side by side. I mean, huge difference between the two. Let me see if I can go ahead and put these. Let me get them off the hangers. What heat press do I use? This is a power heat press that I had got. It's probably 10 to 12 years old, to be honest with you. And I figure, why buy a new one if it's still working? It's had a little bit of issues over the time. Like I need to do some adjusting. I know it. Some of the adjusting where the difference, where I know it needs adjusting. The heat's not, sometimes it fluctuates, but I've learned that over the years. So, but if I was to get another heat press, which I was just talking with them yesterday, I definitely recommend using Heat Press Nation. That's where I've got all of my other presses. I got a hat press and a mug press and my 16 by 24 press from there. And their customer service is outstanding. So I will not use nobody else but them, just because of their customer service. If you have an issue with anything, they immediately resolve that. So when I am ready for another 15 by 15, because I do like this size, and then I have a large one that's 16 by 24, I will go to Heat Press Nation. Okay. Okay, this should give you a better understanding on the difference in the colors. And I know sometimes it's a little hard to see with the camera, but this one is definitely a little bit more vintage, where the top one is a whole lot brighter. Let me see. I'm really having a hard time trying to give you the full effect of this. Okay, can you see the difference in that? I mean, it's a big difference. So this is what 100% polyester would look like, or 95%. And this is what a 65% would look. They're still beautiful, both. This one looks more like a favorite t-shirt, been washed a few times. You know, just a shirt you don't want to get away. And then the top one looks like a brand new shirt. And I will tell you, with sublimation, this is going to stay this way, okay? 90% of the time, 99% of the time, your print is not going to be like a screen print. It's not going to crack. It's not going to move. It's not going to peel, and it's not going to fade away. Sublimation, it becomes your fabric, so it is going to last as long as your item lasts, okay? The Cricut shirts, they have a, are they unisex, Tina's asking. They have a ladies t-shirt, they have a men's t-shirt, they have a baby's bodysuits, they got youth shirts. So if you're looking for, you know, but for the men's t-shirts is what I usually, you know, most people will buy. They just like the straight box shirts. You know, not everybody likes a women's shirt where it's a little bit cut in. A lot of people like them to be a little bit looser. And even though you can get them like that, they have that cut for a woman, a woman's t-shirt, which it's nice, but the sizes are definitely a lot different than the men's. So an extra I would say they're extra large to me. When usually if I'm going to get a woman's shirt, I do an extra large. To me, it seemed more like a large. So I felt it was a little bit off sizing wise, you know, but it's hard to tell because everybody's sizing's different. So maybe not off according to Cricut. Are they unisex? Do the Cricut shirts feel like a dry fit shirt? No, not really. I would say if this to me feels more like a t-shirt. If I'm going to say anything, I'm going to definitely tell you this does not feel like dry fit. It doesn't got that like vapor or the athletic shirts. It doesn't have that feel. This feels like a t-shirt. Are they see-through? Are they see-through? A little bit. But, you know, pretty much what white t-shirt isn't. So, do I wear usually I wear like a spaghetti strap cami under it. But I usually do anyways. I'm just that girl that always has. Except for like really hot in the summer, but even the George brand, because it's white, same. And I guess that's kind of what you're going to get when you get a white t-shirt anyways. Now, I've noticed that the light gray, no, they are not see-through. But like I said, though, the light gray, every time I go to get them, I can only get one or two. They're always sold out. Even literally on the Cricut site itself, they're sold out. And the Cricut brand usually runs $9.99 a shirt. And they're right now at Joann's, I think, are $4.79. Michael still has them for $9.99. And I think they're $9.99 at Cricut as well. All right. Sorry for calling. Yeah, we just paused for a moment. My daughter was calling. So, but here you go. That is the Cricut. And it's so vibrant. I absolutely love this shirt. If I was to do a white t-shirt, I would definitely go with the Cricut brand t-shirt. I just love them. And it has a really good feel to it. It has more of a t-shirt feel than any of the other t-shirts. Okay. Okay. So that's the difference between the two. So if you really need to get a shirt and you need it right now, you can go ahead and get the Joann. Go to Joann's or Michael's, grab the Cricut Infusible shirts. They're called Infusible ink shirts. Or you can head to your local Walmart. These are $3.88. These are the George brand, and they're 65% polyester. So for any of you that are new and watching, and you're doing anything fabric, it needs to be at least 65% polyester and above. I know a lot of you like to use the sprays that do that help with the shirts and things like that. I have not used them. Not that I don't ever plan on using them, but I don't feel the need to right now. So I haven't used them. I don't know nothing about them. I don't know how they hold up. I don't know how to do that. So I know I've had people message me from time to time and ask about the poly sprays. I've never used that. I just go with items that I know that will just work. So I'm already a person that is, I like to get my project done. I'm not that little tedious kind of where I, you know, I want instant gratification. So for me to spray things down, for me to bleach shirts out and things like that, I'm too antsy for that. So I just kind of go with items that I know that they're ready to go. Okay? So for those of you that message me and ask me about those other items, I don't know. It's not something I could tell you because I've never used them. Okay. Let me turn my press off. I'm done with that press for the day. I will tell you, slates are in. I know I've probably about halfway through. I'm about halfway through invoicing the shipping invoices of the slates. So if you haven't got it yet, guaranteed they'll probably be done. I can almost guarantee you I'll be done with the slate shipping today. So I will make a post on that and let everybody know when I'm done. If you did order slates, look in your PayPal, because you might have an invoice in there from yesterday. If not, you'll have it in there for today. I need a 5X for a customer and a gray. I have not had any luck. Just thought I would take a shot on a live with you. I do not have any 5X. I will tell you, luckily, I have found the 5X at Walmart. But I've only found, because we have a gentleman in our church, and his wife orders shirts from time to time. And she has got them at Walmart, like several times. So, and I've sublimated on them twice. So I know that they have them in the George brand. I don't know if you can order that online and have that shipped. I'm not quite sure, okay? I know that's a hard size to come by. Your Walmart discontinued the short sleeve during the winter months. They might, yeah, I think ours is even being discontinued, or just clearanced out for now. But they do have, I've seen these in the long sleeve. So I know, just when you're looking for a shirt, let me tell you, please get it 65% polyester and above if you want it to, the sublimation to stay on it. The way sublimation is it becomes part of your fabric. So if you're doing 100% cotton and there's no polyester in it, because sublimation has to be coated with polymer or polyester if it's a shirt, if it's a material. And whatever percent of polyester that is, so that's 65% polyester, 65% of this shirt now has the sublimation. Okay, so the other 35% is cotton, so that's why it's not vibrant, because only 65% can take that. And I did have someone message me like a few months back and said, well, my cotton shirt is 100% cotton, and I subbed it, and it looks good. It looks a little bit faded, but it looks good. And I said, well, that's awesome. Wash it. And you're not going to have that design no more. So she didn't believe me. By the second wash, it was literally completely gone. The dye will just not stay in there. The ink will not stay in it. Okay. The first wash, it was almost like 95% gone with a few little bit of ink left. And then by the second wash, it was gone. All right. You hear the Christmas music in the background? Yes, we're in Christmas mode here. So, okay. Have you sent out the shipping invoices for the MDF photo boards? Not yet. I will make an announcement when I do that. I knew it was going to be about 2 or 3 weeks. I have someone who does my large cutting for me. This was a very large order. So I have someone who does that. At that point, I didn't have a cutter anyway, so I couldn't have even done it. So she is finishing them up with them, so we should have them soon, and I will make an announcement when that is, when I send the shipping out for, let me grab this, for the MDF panels. But I am most of the way done with the slate, okay? So hopefully I can get these out. As you've seen, I posted this morning, we're gonna have another rate increase with the Postal Service, which that stinks. I am looking into some alternative shipping. So I'm setting up a business account with UPS. So I already started the process. I already have a rep that contacted me. So I'm hoping once I can do that, I can get your shipping costs down, and we can have better shipping. Okay. So that's what I'm working on now. Let me go ahead. And someone had asked about my Glow Forge. So it's all I'll show you it right now. Okay. So my Glow Forge is all vented, all ready to go. We did all of that on Sunday. Still has some of the packaging in here. I'm going to go ahead and get all of that out today. There's a certain process that you have to do when you do the Glow Forge. They actually have videos on how to unpack it, how to set it up, how to vent it. You usually can do a straight vent, but there is also like a venting, a motor, not a motor, it's a fan. And then you can turn off, the Glowforge is very loud. So you could turn off the interior one and you can use that. So we added that so that it would cut down some of the noise within my shop. So when I went to go and get ready to unbox this and unpackage it, I realized the Glowforge only works on Wi-Fi. There is no opportunity whatsoever to connect it directly. So, considering that I will not have my Wi-Fi in until tomorrow, we had to put a pause on that. But believe me, I have been so excited for this thing. It's been sitting for months. So I'm hoping to get that done. I'm expecting the cable company to come, the internet company to come tomorrow between 12 and 4. So I'll give you a little setup of what I'm doing. There's my Glowforge. And then there's my very big press right here. That's my 16 by 24. Okay. And like I said, I have the steel tables. Love these. I would highly recommend them to anybody. And then just some areas. And then, of course, that's where I was makeshift my, where I had my chair I was using to hold my camera. But there's my small press area. Okay. My mug press down there. It's actually going out to the front room. I just haven't. So let's swing around. And here's all the photo panels I've been getting out. That's my shipping station. Okay, so this is where I ship from. And of course, I got another table. Keep everything organized. I've got a bunch already boxed up, ready to go. There's my mannequin. And as you could see, I used this image. The design that I had today is on my mannequin. Okay. And I've got some boxes and boxes of shipping supplies. And then I just bought some. These are just Home Depot shelves that I've made aisles with. So, and I got 3 aisles. And I love these bins here. You can find these. I found these bins if you're looking for some stackable bins. They say you can stack them up to 4 high, but I have 5 and I've not had any problems. So I love them. I wish that I had them in my basement. And there's my 5 that I use at the bottom there, at the end of my aisle. Yep. So that's where we're at. I love them stackable bins. You can find them at Home Depot and Lowe's. They both have them. I think Home Depot sells the Husky brand, and then Lowe's sells, I don't even know what kind. Let's see, they're in here. Blue Hawk. So there's Blue Hawk or Husky. If you're looking for these, I love these. Wish that I had these sooner when I had my basement filled with a bunch of things, because these are really nice. Like, they keep those odds and ends that you're looking for. But that's it. That's my shop. That's in the back where I spend 90% of my time. I'll give you a quick view. So this is where I'm at 90% of my time. I don't have a store where I'm going to yet. I don't plan on doing like walk-in business kind of thing. Leslie Robertson. Leslie, you should have had yours by now if you're looking for the towels. I'm not sure why that you don't have them yet. I might have to look maybe. Have you paid the shipping invoice? Let me go ahead and give you a message. Okay, Leslie? Because everything, all of the towels have been shipped out. I know I had about 4 or 5 people that did not pay their shipping invoices. So let me go ahead and let me look at that. So if you could message me, Leslie, with your PayPal address, I'll go ahead and look into that, because there was a couple, I wanted to say there was like 4 or 5 packages that I have sitting over here. I don't know if yours is in the bunch, that never paid the shipping. Okay, so go ahead and message me. How do you have your Glowforge vented? I literally have vents for them. he had, the gentleman that I rent the building off of, he put them in, so they're just dryer vents, if that makes sense. You can see one's not being used. I plan on getting another Glowforge, so he put one in ready for me. All right, so that's all I did. Just, it comes with a dryer hose. I bought a heavy duty hose, and then I just added that, and then I did the inline cloud fan just to cut down on the noise. And then I just vented it right out with regular dryer vents. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and get this design listed today in my shop if you're looking for that design. It is October. So here we are. These were today's. Let me see. There we go. 2 days. That's the difference in between the two. So Cricut brand versus the George brand. All right, to the outdoors. Yeah, this goes straight out. With a Glowforge, the fumes are not good for you whatsoever, so it has to be vented outside. They do carry a box that you can order. I think it's like an additional $995, and it has filters in it. But I've watched a lot of reviews on that, and unless you absolutely had no access to an outside window, then you could use that. But they, you know, if you can put it out a window, that's the best that you can do. Okay. So if you can get it outside, vented straight outside, please do that. They do say that filtering system works. And like I said, I think it's an additional like $995. But from the reviews I've seen, the filters that you have to put in and out and replace are super expensive. So if you have access to a window to stick the hose out, just do that, because that's really the best. But I did dryer vents, so it goes right outside. Okay, hope you answered your questions. I do have a few things coming up this month that we're going to be doing. I've been working with a few other companies, so I'm hoping to finalize that and get some good things for you guys. Matter of fact, I was on a big conference call yesterday with another company, so I'm trying to work a few things out, a few giveaways for you guys. So let's see what we got coming up, and hopefully we've got some awesome things coming for the holidays. You know I love these giveaways, so I'm trying to get some really good ones for you guys. All right, I think that's it. I am going to get back to shipping slates. So if you ordered slates, please check your PayPal. I know a lot of people will use a different, they pay with a different device, and sometimes that device will recognize a different email or an address. So you don't see it whenever I send you the shipping. So please it's easiest if you just go right into your PayPal and check it that way. And then that way you can see if your invoice has been sent to you. But I'll make an announcement when all of them are out. I did invoice some yesterday, and I think there was only two that was unpaid, but I'm about 3/4 of the way through. So they should all be out today. Okay. And then hopefully the photo panel's next. And then I should hopefully be able to get this Glowforge up and running and be able to cut some panels and some other good things for you guys, because that's the plan. All right. I love you guys, and be blessed.